Nuclear bombs. Nuclear bombs.
You triggered me.
Oppenheimer.
Was that your point in triggering? You're not supposed to say bomb.
That's what we're reviewing right now.
Bomb, 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 bomb,
Let's
bomb,
go.
bomb. Oh,
Like and subscribe, please.
ooh, let me tell you first. This movie was 3 hours long.
Yes, 3 hours. It's directed and written by Christopher Nolan.
I like Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Good actor. When I seen that 3 hours,
No.
you don't know the strength it took for me to proceed to go in there and watch this movie.
I know. I was like, everybody's talking about Barbenheimer and which one you going to see, and are you going to do a double feature? And people even ask me, like,
why?
Are you going to do a double feature? I said, heck no.
For what?
Oppenheimer is 3 hours. Barbie is 2 hours. I'm not trying to spend all day at the movie theater. And what am I going to spend all that money on movie theater food? Heck no. No, I'm not. So I saw Barbie first because I really did want to see Barbie. And then I saw Oppenheimer second. I didn't really want to see Oppenheimer. I'm going to be honestly truthful with you.
I'm with you.
We're GottaBeReel.
I'm with
my
you.
son said, Mom, that is one of the biggest movies of the year. You're a movie critic. You got to see it. I said, son, you got me on that one. You're right. So I set my butt there for 3 hours.
And the butt went to sleep.
3 hours.
And
3 hours that did not need to be 3 hours.
This
It
wasn't
really
a Marvel.
did not. I don't know if you had the same experience I had. I don't know why, but it was loud. Was your theater loud? My theater was loud.
I think I noticed everything wrong because I was dreading sitting there.
It was loud, like just all the sounds, especially in the beginning. And then he has like scenes where he's showing like water dropping and space and stuff. And
the sound effects were, I mean, they did it.
Feet stomping on like bleachers, loud. And I think maybe that was to wake us up.
I was just about to say, was it to wake me up? Because
it got super loud, like all of a sudden, like the talking is fine. And then there's just these scenes in between where it's like just booming, like you want to almost plug your ears.
Like a bomb.
It's so loud. Yeah.
Like a bomb. I mean,
and they said that they didn't even use drums when they made the soundtrack. They didn't use drums because they didn't want to, since it's about bombs already, they didn't want to add to that. So
I mean, when we're dealing with this type of stuff, I'm gonna be honest, like this subject matter, we need to know about this stuff, okay?
Yes.
We know, what happens in the world, our history, whatever. But I think this was more for people,
history
maybe
buffs.
my grandparents.
Yeah.
They probably would have enjoyed it a lot more. You and I, we can sit and watch movies like this, but we like excitement and some boom or some funny or something. This just had me sitting here like, is it over?
Yeah, I know.
Why couldn't you have just done this in an hour and 50 minutes? Let's talk about that because that's what I'm not getting. So
Cillian Murphy plays J. Robert Oppenheimer. Okay. And then you have Emily Blunt as Kitty Oppenheimer, Matt Damon as Leslie Groves, Robert Downey Jr. as Louis Strauss, who was
really quickly
a-hole.
Before you even go on, I know you got another name or two. I sat there for a minute. I kept saying, that guy funny. He kind of looks like Robert.
Yeah.
Grandma, is that Robert Downey Jr.? His makeup, his costume was hilarious.
You did that with Robert, right? I might have did that a little bit, but I also did that with Josh Hartnett. I was like, Josh Hartnett's back. You don't see him that often anymore.
Not lately, but
I don't.
He's done a few TV shows, is what I've seen him in. He also was in one episode recently of, it wasn't Black Mirror, but one of those shows that come on Netflix. But anyway, he's done TV quite a bit recently. But
it was just good to see him.
It is.
Ernst
right. He still looks good. I always thought he was a hot. He still looks good. But I kept looking at Robert Downey. It's like, I love it when you can get into so much costume and makeup. And I'm like, wait, is that you? Because that's how I want to be. I want you to not even recognize who I am. I just want to be like this gory zombie, Yeah. And I want you guys to see me like eating flesh and stuff on TV and be like, is that her? Right. And then you'll hear my and then you'll know it's me. Yeah. But anyway, I love that. And his head was all big. It was like his hairline was jacked. But sorry, then we got Josh Hartnett and then we got Florence Pugh.
Yeah, she plays Jean Tatlock.
I like her so much. I really do. I just like her more and more.
But I didn't really need that sex scene. And
I
think that they put that in there
to wake you up.
Because you're here for 3 hours. Plus we want to humanize him, and let you see that he's a human. Plus, I think that they wanted to add in the Bhagavad Gita, and India is not happy about that. Okay, so
let's talk about that, because you were looking at him based on what you just said. Were you looking at him as an empathetic kid? Like, I didn't see him as empathetic. He felt like he could hold his own.
Sometimes I felt like empathetic towards him, and sometimes it seemed like, because he was kind of sad about it.
Yeah, that's why I never. Yeah, okay. So
he was like, but he was like, the genie's out of the bottle. Somebody's gonna make it. It's either me or them.
And it's better if I do it, so I can at least, maybe there might be something I could control or keep some people from dying, which is one of the things he was trying to do. But I never.
Right.
I never felt that I had to feel sorry for him or anything, because he seemed like he was, hey, this is what happened, this is what it is, and I think that's why I never felt bad for him, because he seemed like he was, like you said, he felt bad. He seemed like he felt bad. They didn't make the
movie so you feel bad for him. I don't think they just made it so you could see what happened. Like,
yeah,
this is what it is. They put it out there.
Like, I didn't feel bad for him being, people getting on his case. Like, what did you do? Like, he's like, hey, well, come on. Like, this is what, sometimes they'll try to demonize those particular people, but then we know the details in here. Yeah. Well, no, he kind of wasn't a demon. This is what was going on, and like you said, if it wasn't him, it was somebody else.
Yep. So the sex scene that I referred to with Oppenheimer and Jean Tatlock, it sparked backlash in India over the use of the sacred text, the Bhagavad Gita. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. It's seen as a scathing attack on Hinduism. Oh. It's one of Hinduism's most sacred texts. Murphy told Indian film critic Sukrita Tyagi, I think that's how you pronounce her name, I apologize, ahead of Oppenheimer premiere, that he read the Bhagavad Gita in preparation for filming.
Wow.
I thought it was an absolutely beautiful text, very inspiring, he said. I think it's a consolation to Oppenheimer. He kind of needed it, and it provided him a lot of consolation all his life. So they're reading this while they're having sex, and I get that they felt like probably this is a good place to put it. It's a quiet, introspective time,
But are you listening or are you watching?
Thank you.
Come on, you can't mix those two. Come on now.
And you gotta know, people in India don't like that stuff, and they asked them to take that scene out, but
they didn't.
They didn't.
So basically, it didn't get enough buzz from cancel culture here for them to do it, which could still be an option at some point with the way that people complain about everything. I'm not going to say I don't agree with them on that. I mean, that's almost like, you see this unnecessary sex scene and they're reading from the Bible or something. Yeah. Would you find that disrespectful? Absolutely, I would. Yeah. And I would find it disrespectful for anybody in their culture. I mean, you just want to be respectful, whether, it doesn't matter what you believe in. So I could understand where they're coming from. Yes, I completely understand.
I can too.
Okay.
The Harry S. Truman line, "Don't you bring that crybaby back here ever again," is historically factual. Truman did actually say that to a staff member after meeting Oppenheimer.
I mean, dang. I know they get down and dirty in the political rooms and everything, but they just be saying stuff.
Yeah.
Bring that crybaby back. Yeah, I could see a particular person saying this, but I'm not even going to say their name. We're going to skip that whole thing.
On December 16th, 2022, J. Robert Oppenheimer's security clearance was posthumously reinstated by the U.S. Department of Energy almost 70 years after it was first revoked by its predecessor, the Atomic Energy Commission. Speaking to the New York Times, Kai Bird, who wrote the Pulitzer Prize-winning biography on Oppenheimer's life, American Prometheus, which also formed the basis of the movie, reflected on the AEC's famously flawed security hearing, the push from the scientific community to restore Oppenheimer's clearance, and the Energy Department's decision. I'm overwhelmed with emotion. History matters, and what was done to Oppenheimer in 1954 was a travesty, a black mark on the honor of the nation. Students of American history will now be able to read the last chapter and see what was done to Oppenheimer in that kangaroo court proceeding was not the last word. So I say that because if you haven't seen the movie goes between Oppenheimer discovering, how to create the bomb and everything, and him trying to keep his security clearance. So that's also what made it longer, is because we're watching him in this makeshift court trying to fight for that, which really, I don't know if we needed all of those scenes either.
We did not.
They could have cut those out or cut some of them out. They could have really just shortened it into a smaller montage, because that's a lot.
I think I cooked rack of lamb, turkey. I cooked that. I made several meals.
Was just, what, 8 months ago. So, I just wanted to add that in there. There's parts that are black and white, parts that are color. So in order for the black and white sections of the movie to be shot in the same quality as the rest of the film, Kodak developed the first ever black and white stock for IMAX. That's pretty interesting.
It's cool that Kodak is even still in business. Like, their name is so ancient. Yeah, it is. They still roll in the dough apparently, though.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan revealed in a Collider interview that there are no CGI shots in the film.
Good. No weird fingers and toes.
Yeah.
Great.
And during an interview, the reporter David Martin on CBS Sunday Morning, July 16, 2023, Director Christopher Nolan pointed out that the entire reel of IMAX film stock used for the production is 11 miles long and weighs 600 pounds.
Why am I shocked?
I saw that clip. I saw them taking it out. That sucker is huge. It was 3 or 4 minutes. It was
11 miles.
The way that they had to roll that out. Yeah, 11 miles.
I could about be home in 11 miles.
Yeah.
I want to take a look because I'm curious what the budget was for this, because this.
Yeah.
Do you recall? Have we seen have any of the DC or Marvel been that long? Because we know we expect those to be 2 hours and 30. But have you ever seen a movie more than 3 hours? I can't
recall.
And for this context,
yeah,
it was just not fun for me.
Yeah. And lastly, early in the film, Oppenheimer is introduced, and someone asked him, "What's the J stand for?" It stands for Julius. He said he couldn't remember.
I thought you were going to say Jules. I swear I thought you were just going to say that for the front of it.
No, okay. It stands for Julius. He told them he couldn't remember though. But yeah. So Oppenheimer, how many clappers are you going to give Oppenheimer?
Look, I'm not going to be unfair and not give it the appropriate clappers because it was insanely, ridiculously long. Unnecessarily.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to look at it from a historical point of view, from things that I did learn. I did learn some stuff in the movie.
Yeah, I learned some stuff.
I'm going with a soft 3. And I have to be honest with you, I wouldn't have watched this movie and even texted you and said, Jules, you got to see this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even texted you when it came on TV. Hey, Jules, it's on Hulu.
Hey, look, even if you did text me and said, hey, Jules, you got to see it,
you watch it,
I'd have been like,
yeah. I have 8 hours to watch this historical piece.
I really don't want to see it, because I do tell her no sometimes. I really don't want to see that movie.
And I only text you if there's something in there that I really need you to see, or something interesting.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we'll text each other hey, such and such that we like this on Peacock now. Because that's I like my Peacock or whatever.
Yeah.
But most of the time we only text each other for stuff that we really want each other to see. I would not have texted you for this. I wouldn't have even talked to you about this movie.
Yeah.
It was just for me, again, personally. My grandparents would have probably been cool with this. For me, it was informative. Yes.
Yes.
Good acting. Yes.
Yes.
It was very, very long. It just didn't interest me. So I just have to be honest.
Yes.
If you're wanting to see it, if you're, an older couple, you guys want to see something, from your day. Yeah. But it's nothing that you're going to be sitting there jumping and excited or, leave out the theater. I'm being honest. Somebody else may have seen this period piece and I'm sure loved it.
Yeah.
This just wasn't it for me.
People are. So you're watching our channel. It's got to be real. We try to keep it as real as we can. Honestly, our thing is not necessarily historical movies. I watch them. I will watch them. I do watch them. This movie was just exorbitantly long. Exhaustingly long. Was it interesting? Yes. But you know what? When I got home after being in that long movie,
Run Pee app. That was Run Pee app. Was like, you can go pee
at
every point in this movie, so it doesn't even matter. So just get up and go pee whenever.
I did have to go too, and I didn't. The app, I was off from the app. The app was like, go now. I was like,
you could have went at any time and you wouldn't have missed anything.
There's some stuff you missed. But when I got home, I think I want to say MSNBC had on a documentary about Oppenheimer. And I watched that, and I got maybe even more out of that 2-hour show, which is less than 2 hours because you got to factor in commercials, than I did for the 3-hour movie.
It makes you lose interest.
That was more interesting to me. So I'm not saying that we are not dumb by any means. Please don't think that. we do not just hate historical movies. I think
it was just this one in particular.
This one in
period.
particular, we just didn't love. I know. I'm just going to say I didn't love it. I know a lot of people do love it. I'm going to go with you with the soft 3.
Very soft.
If history is your thing, if you want to see this, because it is like doing new things with IMAX. So if you want to go see it in IMAX, I would say see it in the matinee in IMAX. Don't spend the full price at IMAX. Otherwise, I just saw it at a regular theater, and it was good there.
And it was loud enough, plenty.
It was too loud.
You ever want to go up and look? Sometimes I'll go like this. I'll look up at the little window.
Yeah.
And be like, where's?
There have been times when I had to ask the manager, "Hey, can you turn it up?"
Yeah, I had to turn it down. There's some times my ears were getting blown out.
I wanted them to turn it down, but I didn't see a manager this time, and I didn't want to miss the movie, and I didn't want to be that person and ruin it for everybody. So I just sat there like, ugh. I'm telling you, there's just parts in this movie that are just, if you see it, you'll see.
They could have cut a good 30 minutes out of there. They could have cut a good 30 minutes out of there, and we wouldn't have missed anything.
They got to the point where, and I don't know if this is just my age and my memory, but there were so many characters, because I only listed a couple of characters, right? There's so many actors, so many characters. When they're saying some of their names, I'm like, who is that again? And who? They're in there. There's so many in this. They're cutting it so much that you don't really get a time to grow with the character and really know who they are, other than Florence Pugh and Emily Blunt and Cillian Murphy and Matt Damon, the people that I listed. Those people they showed the most. But even some of their names, I was like, who are we talking about again? And then when they show them, Robert Downey Jr., I couldn't even fully get invested or catch on to their names, or I don't know what it was. It was just too many people. It was too many.
It was too many people. It was too long. It was just
too long. Too many people. And I stayed awake for the whole thing. So it's not like
you didn't die.
I fell asleep, and that's why.
Did your dad go?
No, I was by myself.
Okay.
So it's not like that's the reason why I don't know who they were talking about. It's just.
I'm curious once your dad sees it. I'm curious to know what he thinks about it.
I don't know if he
probably
see it. I don't
probably
think
won't.
He cares. I don't think he wants to. Because I did invite him, and he was like, no.
Yes, he knew. He watched somebody else's review before he should have told us. We would start telling your dad, did you see this movie? Because you need to give it.
It's getting good reviews. Some people love it.
And that's fine. That's fine. We're just telling you.
For us and our show.
We just keeps it real.
We keep it real. And we're saying soft 3.
Soft. And it's soft. When I say soft, I mean, I don't want to go to 2.5. But I'm saying soft.
And I'm appreciating the
all of
the
it.
Screen, the filming,
the work that went into it, the dedication, all of that. But we're still telling you. Period. I mean, they could have spent $100 million on this one. If we didn't like it, we just didn't like it. There's stuff me and her totally disagree on.
Oh yeah.
But that's okay. We're all on people, but we're going to keep it real with you.
Yep.
Right. Yep. So that's what we're going to do. So there you have our review of
Oppenheimer.
My gosh. You can find me and Jules on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Cash App. Like, subscribe, share our videos, talk to us. Let us know what you want to see. We will review that movie, shout you out on the show. We got you covered. Tell us what you thought about the movie. Chit chat with us. We talk back. You talk to us. We talk back.
Maybe we didn't get something.
Yeah, I would love that.
We're just saying. It's just too long, mainly. That's the main.
It just wasn't. It didn't entertain me. Period. So that's it.
You
have our review for Oppenheimer.
Kind of wasn't.
We'll take it as you will. We'll see you our next review. All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.